rain event from last night, which mixed bag, but if you are in Gainesville, southern part of the district, or Lee County, you did pretty good. Got 3.6 inches in the gauge in Santa Fe Lake. And seeing a little bit of a rise now, not quite a half-foot rise downstream. Levy County, 1.5 to 2 inches. Hope we get more of this.
More.
Yes, some of us got nothing, but hopefully we'll do better in December than we did in November. This is a map of rainfall that fell over the district in November. Our average was 0.18 inches, and if you see that darker orange color there, that's less than 1/4 inch for the whole month. And except for some very localized spots in Levy and Alachua County, this was a very dry month. And how dry? It was the driest November since 1936. It was actually the 6th driest of any month since our records, district-wide records, started in 1932. And the long-term Lake City gauge, and as of 60 days ending Sunday, it was the driest 60 days since 1907. Very dry. This is a map of percent of normal rainfall for the whole basin all the way up into Georgia. The upper part of the Alapaha with the Coochie, including the Little River Basin, did a little better with up to 50% of normal rainfall, which puts it in the neighborhood of about 1 inch or so. But overall, the whole southeast was very dry last month. And our river gauges fell steadily, of course, throughout the month. You'll see, particularly around the confluence of the Georgia tributaries with the Suwannee, that a number of our gauges fell below the 25th percentile for this time of the year. So they're below normal for this time of year. Still have a little bit of water coming out of the woods and the coastal rivers. They maintained a normal flow for this time of year. And the Santa Fe, for the 2nd month in a row, stayed below normal. And if you see those red gauges up in the northwest, those are indicative of a larger drought, which you'll see in a minute. Groundwater levels, light blue areas are considered normal, comparing water levels for the history of the wells. Of course, without rain, we see a decline, and this is October 2012. And we start to see more of our loss of those dark blue areas, which are above normal. Also in the northwest part of the district, Jefferson, northwest Madison, we're seeing further erosion of groundwater conditions where that area is now below normal. Overall, though, we're still in a range considered normal. And we take a look at this graph. This is percentile average groundwater conditions across the district since 1976. We fell below median to about the 40th percentile. And I wanted to take a look to see, since our conditions match up with the start of the last drought in 2010, and also the conditions match with fall of 2006. Wanted to see what would happen if we plugged in another low rainfall year. And this is a projection where we go back to beating record low levels in about 1.5 years or summer of 2014. Fall below the 10th percentile in less than a year. So I mentioned the drought in the southeast. It has expanded much worse in central Georgia, but they have now put us in an abnormally dry category. And compared to the rest of the United States, 76% of the country is in some kind of drought right now, so there's a pretty widespread patterns going on. what's coming up, 10-day outlook. This chance is probably normal conditions for us in terms of rainfall. So I hope to see a little bit more development like we saw last night. 3-month outlook, there's no strong signal that might dictate the weather we'll see this winter. So the climatologists have put us at equal chances of wet or dry coming up in the next 3 months. So bottom line, the rivers and groundwater are still falling. Short-term best bet, probably a normal December. Long-term, with no strong signals, all bets are off with equal chances of dry or wet conditions coming up. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I've got one question. I was looking at the, particularly around Lee County, the rainfall data. And that Rosewood gauge and the Fanning Springs gauge, it's just hard for me. I mean, I poured out, and I know ours was empty, and it's a pretty dependable rain gauge. I poured out 2 6/10 inches this morning, which is just outside of Chiefland, and then down within, has to be within 1.5 miles of the Rosewood gauge, there's 3 inches. And the Rosewood gauge is only showing 3 1/4, and the Fanning Spring gauge only shows 6/10. I mean, it seems like that those gauges are always, I mean, I just wonder about how good they are. Do they get out of calibration? Is there anything that can be, I mean, I just find it strange that there was that much difference.
There can be pretty sharp variations in rainfall and
Well,
short.
yeah, sure, yeah, places I'm aware, for sure. But, you know, I talked to several folks around, and even over, I guess Gainesville got high freeze. It seemed to be pretty widespread. But anyway, just an observation. And I guess up this way, it didn't get anything yesterday, is that right? It rained quite a lot. You got a question for Megan?